Hey, everybody.
Hey.
Welcome to our Word Wednesday.
Word Wednesday. Our first one postpartum.
Yeah. So we hope you enjoyed last week's series on missions.
We have a little guest.
Oh, yeah, we do have a guest. Here's Asher.
Yeah.
So we're excited. He's happy, healthy. Mom's happy, healthy.
Yeah, doing good. Sleep deprived still. But
Yeah. It's only been 2 weeks today.
yeah. So if you hear something and you're like, that's not quite right, like give us some grace and look it up.
Yeah. Yeah.
Look
We're
it
doing
up
our
and
best.
double check.
We're doing our best.
Yeah.
So, but I hope you enjoyed last week's series on missions. We had a whole lot of fun with
It was
that.
so good.
Every one of those missionaries and their families were just top notch. We loved them so much. Be ready for next week.
Yeah.
Actually, Saturday.
Saturday we start our Thankful series. It's a little different. We didn't do a Thankful series last year. We started our video series with our Christmas
Our
countdown.
Christmas countdown, which we have
Yeah.
that coming up too.
Oh, it is.
25 days of,
Jesus.
yeah. And well, yeah, and we're going to have the ornaments and all that stuff. So
Yeah.
something that you need to know about is there's going to be 4 principles for this Thanksgiving series coming up on the 1st. And if you will interact with the videos, we'll put you in for a drawing to get
Your own Christmas ornaments that match the ones that we're doing, the names of Jesus ornaments.
Yeah, the names of Jesus ornaments. So you'll get 25 names of Jesus
Yeah.
to be able to do with your family. We encourage you to get your family on this Thanksgiving thing because
Yeah.
honestly, Thanksgiving is my favorite holiday out of all of them.
And we're trying to help everyone, like our family included, foster thankfulness in our lives.
Yeah.
And then, we will do our giveaway. And so every like and share and comment on those first 3 days worth of videos, we will enter your name. We'll let the girls draw and see who wins
Yeah.
a set of ornaments.
That's going to be neat. So with that, today we want to jump into our thought of the day, and we're going to be talking about manna.
Yeah, we're talking about the Exodus. We're talking about the people of Israel. God has led them out with Moses' help, and they're in the desert and they're hungry. And so God says, okay, I hear you. I'm going to give you manna.
Yeah. And I think for many Christians, and you've probably experienced this, you went from a time of slavery where you were stuck in sin and brokenness, and maybe you're there now, but God's calling us into a place of freedom. And the first place of freedom is, and I want you to catch this, the doorway to freedom is dependency on God. And so when they come into the wilderness, they've got herds of livestock with them that are eating and things like that. But we're talking about hundreds of thousands, possibly 1 million plus people who are needing provision in a wilderness.
Yeah.
And you have to have God for that. And it seems like every time Moses turns around, somebody's griping, somebody's complaining.
Right.
They're not walking in gratitude and thankfulness.
Because they've already been upset because there wasn't any water. Because they went like 3 days with no water.
Yeah.
And God's like, hey, just trust me.
Yeah.
And I won't bring on all of the plagues of the Egyptians to you guys. Like, just trust me.
Yeah.
Just walk in me. Just know that I'm the one who's going to meet your needs. All you have to do is ask. But grumbling is not asking.
Grumbling, being ungrateful, will actually keep you in the wilderness longer. And because God, if you, in the dependency you're in the season you're in, will receive the things of God and be thankful for them, it unlocks you to be able to cross over to that promised land. And that was the thing about the promised land was God says you're going to live in houses you didn't build and you're going to harvest from vineyards and gardens that you didn't plant. You're going to receive an abundance, but you've got to be in that season of knowing that God meets your every need. He loves you and He meets your need.
It's trust.
Yeah, trust. If you trust first, then you'll be able to go to that promised land and receive those things. But we don't just mooch in the promised land. Like you still have to go work. You still have to go and fight the enemy.
It doesn't mean that you're not going to see scarcity. It just means you know where to go when scarcity comes.
Yeah. Yeah, you lean back into Jesus and you say, hey, you've got this, and I just receive it. So let's go to the manna. That's what we need to talk about.
So we're in Exodus chapter 16, verse 16?
Yep.
Okay.
You want me to read it?
Sure.
It says, this is what the Lord has commanded. Gather of it every man as much as he should eat. You shall take an omer apiece, according to the number of persons each of you has in his tent. The sons of Israel did so, and they gathered much and some little. And when they measured it with an omer, he who had gathered much had no excess, and he who gathered little had no lack. Every man gathered as much as he should eat. Moses said to them, "Let no man leave any until morning." But they did not listen to Moses, and some left parts until morning. And it bred worms and became foul, and Moses was angry with them. They gathered it morning by morning, every man as much as he should eat. But when the sun grew hot, it would melt.
Yeah, and so it goes on to talk about also how the day before the Sabbath they could gather up twice as much, and it would be good the next day. They would save part of it, and it would be enough for the next day. And so what stood out to me in this is he's saying, like, gather what you need for today. And so every person got exactly what their need was.
And that was the interesting, when you're reading that, it says some gathered a lot.
Yeah, and some gathered a little. Like, whatever they were capable of gathering, God made it be exactly enough for them.
Now, I want to take the manna and apply that to, let's say, our biblical studies today.
Okay.
Like, if I'm getting the bread of life, the Word of God today, I will have what I need, or I will reap what I need. Because sometimes we get to that thing of, like, how much of the Bible do I need to be reading? How much of the Word of God do I have to have? And it's that thing of, you go out and you collect, and God will make sure that whatever you collect is going to measure up to be your need.
Your need for the day. Yeah.
How would you?
Well, what hit me in that is it says some of them tried to save up for the next day. And so what that means is if they had enough and they tried to save up for the next day, then they're like cutting themselves short for that day's need. They're depriving themselves of getting their full need for that day because they're scared that it's not going to show up tomorrow because they're walking in distrust.
So how do we apply that to our lives? Because that's a whole other thing.
It is.
Because what we're not saying is don't save your money. Like, that would be my quick, let's talk about, well, are you saying...
It's easy to say provision is money, yeah. But I think, man, I've been in that place. I think even as we were getting ready to take on this role of evangelist of like, well, my pantry's fully stocked. So if we don't get any churches that like want to pay us for speaking engagements, we have a full pantry. We're not going to starve. And when we first started, like, our bank account was full, our savings account was full, and we had enough to coast. And by golly, we didn't see both of those things just completely disappear so fast. Yeah. Because like God had to deal with us and be like, okay, so are you trusting in me or in your pantry?
Right.
Are you trusting in me or in your savings account?
Right.
And so we had to watch both of those be completely dwindled and then still trust God that he was going to show up. I mean, our savings account got to like zero.
Well, I think we got low, but we didn't get zero. But
it was really low. But like then we got to start really trusting and seeing like the miraculousness of God's provision showing up.
Right.
Well,
I wouldn't trade a full bank account, and I wouldn't trade a full pantry for what faith was built in that
Yeah,
season.
Absolutely.
And so I think for me, I'm going, whatever it is that you're doing today that you're trying to store up for tomorrow, there's a difference. If you're doing it in your own abilities, then what you're doing is going to rot.
Out of fear, yeah. Because the thing is, it rotted when they said, okay, I better ration this off. So it rotted the next day. But when they gathered for the Sabbath and gathered 2 days in a row, the next day what they had saved back was still fresh, was still good.
Because that was
It had no worms in it.
Yeah, that was done under the word of the Lord.
Exactly.
And so it's important that when we're dealing with finances or even our Bible study or whatever it is in our life, whatever resource God's given to us, how we steward our time with that is very important. Remember, Jesus said, give us today our daily bread. If I'm saying, well, I'll read my Bible tomorrow, I'm holding back that manna. I'm doing myself without, and it's not going to have the same effect. In fact, the word I need for today is not the word I'm going to need for tomorrow.
That's right.
I need that word every day poured into me. And I can tell if I have, I do a Bible app, and so I'll have a couple different studies going, 2 different studies going at the same time. And if I'm not on those for 2 days, I can tell. Like, I feel dry. I feel wore out. I don't feel right. But if I would go and read and get caught up on all that stuff, and I'll put myself back into a rhythm of studying that word and listening to God, there's better in me.
Well, I mean, that's what you told me, too. I think it was like 4 or 5 days postpartum, and you were like, hey, you are spiritually dry. Like, you've not been getting your studies in. Like, you need to take some time because I can see it in you.
Yeah.
You know.
And you took that really well. You didn't throw
Well-
anything at me. You didn't attack me. It was
I
good.
got the energy too. It's just too tired.
Yeah. But that's whatever it is today that you're be careful that your nest egg, whenever you're sitting back, and I'm not just talking finance, we're talking about resources, full pantries, whatever it is. If your security is in a thing outside of God, it is wrong.
Right. And the thing is, God does call us to stretch things and go farther and store up. But He also, like, we have to do it under Him and His guidance, because you know, I also think about the rich man who had all of the storehouses in the parable, and Jesus calls him a fool.
Yeah, because he stored up all that he had in a storehouse, but his life was gone.
Yeah.
And we need to be sure that whatever we're doing, we're being good stewards of what God's given us, to not deprive ourselves of the daily blessings He's given us.
Yeah, because then I think of Joseph, who God told him to store up for the entire nation of Egypt.
Right.
And He saved the Egyptians and the Israelites because of that.
Yeah.
And so it's like, yes, like just make sure whatever you're doing, whether storing up or enjoying the fullness of His blessing in the day, that it's under God's will.
Right. And I would say too, if you're not receiving the fullness of God's blessing on your life today, if you're not choosing to receive the fullness of it, but you're trying to hold some of it back, that's actually hindering you from walking in full gratitude towards God. So whenever you receive the full blessings of God, the full resources of God, and you use those today, it makes you, I'm going to say makes you, it enables you to walk in a greater gratitude. This is not making sense. Some of the stuff is not making sense to some of you, and that's okay. But there are some I know right now who are going like, yeah, that's I needed that. That's me this week.
Yeah.
And so we want you to don't go trying to store up a bunch of manna that's going to go bad on you.
Yeah.
Don't put off, do yourself without in hopes that tomorrow you can have more.
Right.
Instead, take what God's given you today, your daily bread, and use it for the nourishment of yourself. Use it for the nourishment of your soul and your spirit. Be grateful for what God is doing, and listen to Him for those days where He does say, hey, store up, store this back.
Yeah, I'm even thinking about like worshiping, you know, like, man, have we neglected our worship for the day?
That's
you know,
true.
and saying like, I'll get it Sunday, I'll
Yeah.
get it Wednesday.
Yeah.
And it's like, ooh, like, no, get it now.
Right. Because today you're allotted the time.
Yeah.
Don't push it off, because tomorrow that time's not there.
Right.
Oh, well, I think that's all we have time for today. We hope that this ministered to you and you heard God speaking to you, that He does have provision for you. He's got manna today. You have daily bread allotted to you. Be wise stewards of it.
Yeah.
Anything you want to say?
Nope, that's it.
All right. We'll see you Saturday for the beginning of our Thankful series. And get ready for just a time to just rejoice.
Yeah, and there's so many good, just free printables on that one. So
Yeah.
we've got a thankful journal coming, one for adult, one for kids. We got a scavenger hunt that's printable, and then some thank you notes. Just fun resources that we are giving to you guys to enable you to foster thankfulness in your lives.
Yeah, because I think that's, for me as a father, it's like, how do I get my kids to walk in
Absolutely.
gratitude? Not just to me, but to other people.
Well, yeah, and it's a reminder to myself to be more thankful. And then nothing makes you learn something like trying to teach it. And so when we're trying to get our kids to be more thankful, it makes us more thankful.
Yeah, yeah. So if you're having a hard time
keep
learning
you in
it,
check.
teach it. I guess that's what we're saying.
Yeah, 100%. Let some kids know that's what you're doing. They'll hold you accountable.
That's true. They will.
Be
They
like,
will.
ooh, that doesn't sound very thankful.
Yeah, they will.
They will look at you.
They'll be way too honest to make you hurt. All right. Love y'all. Ooh, just shook that. And we'll see you later this week.
Bye, guys.